Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Pro Wrestling Talk, hosted by yours truly, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram, brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming, here on the U to the Tube. So, got quite a lot to talk about tonight. Gonna talk some Stardom. There were a couple of title matches that took place, and we're getting geared up to begin the 5-Star Grand Prix, and I'm looking very forward to it. It actually starts this weekend, and they're actually doing a day one and day two pay-per-view special to kick this league style tournament off. So gonna talk about that. Gonna talk a little bit of New Japan Pro Wrestling. Talk about the conclusion of Tag Team Turbulence, and gonna talk some AEW as well. Of course, talk about my experience at AEW Fight for the Fallen, which was this past Wednesday in Charlotte, North Carolina. I attended this show live, so I'll talk about that, and of course the usual WWE talk as well. So got a good bit to talk about tonight. But first, let's start off with Stardom. Now, recently we had a Wonder of Stardom championship match that took place. The champion Tam Nakano of Cosmic Angels successfully defended against Starlight Kid of Oedo Tai. Now, if I remember correctly, this is Tam's third successful title defense. So, hasn't really had a lot of defenses lately, but it's looking like that's starting to increase more. And, had one heck of a match against Starlight Kid, this Oedo Tai Starlight Kid, I've really liked this new Starlight Kid. I think this change has been working well for her, and I just hope she'll continue to grow from this. Gave it a great effort, but unfortunately was not able to defeat Tam Nakano. But great match though, and another successful defense. Tam Nakano still looking strong, not only as the white belt champion, but as the leader of Cosmic Angels. Still has quite a presence. And we also had Aphrodite get a Goddess of Stardom tag title shot against Shuri and Julia. And lately, Shuri and Julia have been kind of trolling Aphrodite by wearing these rainbow colored afro wigs and doing special dances and, Aphrodite, even though it's spelled with A-P-H instead of A-F-R-O, which, they were trolling by way of A-F-R-O, Aphrodite. So they've been doing that as it got closer to this title match. And it was a really great match. Unfortunately, Shuri and Julia were able to retain. Julia hit the Northern Light Bomb on Saya Kamatani to seal the deal and retain the titles. So, had quite a decent build up to this match, and Aphrodite, was looking strong. Of course, Aphrodite are former Goddess of Stardom tag champs anyway. But after the match, Oedo Tai chimes in, attacks Shuri and Julia after the match, and pretty much have made their presence known that Ruoka wants those Goddess of Stardom tag titles. So I guess it's just a matter of seeing who they're going to pair her with, whether it's Starlight Kid or Konami. We'll have to wait and see. But they are now showing interest in those titles. So, should be really interesting. But Julia and Shuri retain the Goddess of Stardom tag titles. Still very strong tag team, and it looks like they're gonna be that way for a while. Let's see. It was also brought up that at the Korakuen Hall show that Mai Sakurai will be wrestling for Stardom, and I really don't know much about this woman. I've looked on her Twitter. It looks like she's done some modeling and such, but I really don't know anything about her. So we'll see how she does in Stardom. And of course, I don't know if she came from. Did she come from Sendai Girls? Like, somebody let me know where she came from, because I honestly don't know. You know, a lot of her profile is in Japanese, so I don't know. I actually don't know. But Unagi Sayaka, the Future of Stardom champion, came out and pretty much greeted her and, wants to challenge her and is even willing to put the Future of Stardom championship on the line against this Mai Sakurai. So, hey, just like that, she's going to get an opportunity at the Future of Stardom title. Okay, looking at her Twitter, it looks like I guess she's performed in Wave. So at least that's one thing I see that she's wrestled for, but yeah, I don't really know this AWG. I don't know. Y'all have to educate me on this. But Mai Sakurai is going to be wrestling for Stardom very, very soon. So keep an eye out for her. I know I'll definitely keep an eye out for her because I really don't know anything about her. So I'm just as curious. But would love to see how she does. Okay. Let's talk 5-Star Grand Prix, which starts this weekend. Actually starts tomorrow, July 31st. Day 1 and Day 2, July 31st and August 1st. And they're actually doing a special tournament kickoff on pay-per-view this weekend. So Day 1 and 2 will be on pay-per-view of this 5-Star Grand Prix, which I went ahead and I ordered it. So I'm looking forward to checking both shows out. But let's give a quick preview. let's give a quick preview. So for the red block, we got Julia, Mayu Iwatani, Momo Watanabe, Fukigen Death, who I just found out actually replaces Natsuko Tora, since Natsuko Tora is out with the torn ACL. So Fukigen Death is her replacement. So Fukigen Death, Saki Kashima, Starlight Kid, Hameka, Natsupoi. So those two will be returning for this tournament. Koguma and Mina Shirakawa. Those are your red block. For the blue block, we have Utami Hayashishita. We have Shuri, Tam Nakano, Saya Kamatani, Maika, Azumi, Konami, Ruoka, Unagi Sayaka, and the special entrant, the mystery competitor, is Takumi Iroha. Alrighty. So that's your blue block. And of course, the way this works is everybody in the red block will face each other. Everybody in the blue block will face each other. The competitor with the highest score in the red block will end up the finalist for the red block, and the same thing for the blue block. And then the finals, which I believe will be late September, will be the red block finalist versus the blue block finalist. And the winner of that wins the 5-Star Grand Prix and pretty much has the right to challenge for the World of Stardom championship. Now, of course, last year, Utami Hayashishita won the 5-Star Grand Prix and went on to defeat Mayu Iwatani to win the red belt. So, this is how Utami won the title in the first place. She's in this tournament, so we'll see what happens. But it looks like there aren't going to be any title defenses for a while because we have this tournament. So, all the champions will probably get a chance to enjoy holding their titles, at least for another 2 months, without any sort of worry. At least that's what it seems. But let's preview. Let's look at the preview for day 1 and day 2 of the 5-Star Grand Prix. So, let's see. Looking at day 1. So, we're going to have it looks like they're going to have a pre-show match, which is Queen's Quest versus... Oh, actually, it looks like it's Azumi, Momo Watanabe, Kanan, and Lady C going up against Oedo Tai's Saki Kashima, Konami, Rina, and Ruoka. So it looks like a 8-woman tag match. That's what it's looking like. I can't read Japanese too well, but that's what it looks like, according to the Twitter post. And then, let's see, we're going to start off with some red block action, as Mina Shirakawa will face Fuki Kendef. We're going to have Natsupoi going up against Koguma. We're going to have Julia going up against Starlight Kid. And then we're going to switch gears to the blue block. We're going to have Tam Nakano versus Unagi Sayaka. Ooh, they're doing that match early. We're going to have Shuri versus Saya Kamatani. Should be good. And see, we're going to have Mayu Iwatani. Oh, back to red block. We're going to have Mayu Iwatani versus Momo Watanabe. And then we're going to have another blue block match as Utami Hayashishita will face off against Maika. So it looks like we're going to have 4 red block matches and 4 blue block matches, or red stars, blue stars. So we're going to have 4 of each. So that's for day 1. And then for day 2, see what we got for day 2. All right. So for day 2, the opening match looks like it's going to be a 3-way tag team match. We're going to have Koguma and Hanan of Stars as one team versus Mina Shirakawa and Lady C versus Ruoka and Rina. So that's a 3-way tag team match. So triple threat. All right. And then looking at 5-Star Grand Prix for day 2. Going to start off with the blue block. Unagi Sayaka versus Azumi. That should be interesting. We're going to go to the red block with Saki Kashima versus Starlight Kid. Oh, Oedo Tai Showdown. We actually got a preview of that from the Korakuen Hall show. Just a little bit of a preview of that. Then back to, we're staying in the red block as we got Natsupoi versus Momo Watanabe. Oh, that should be really good, actually. Okay. And then back to the blue block. We got Tam Nakano versus Konami. Oh, that should be interesting. And then staying in the blue block. Oh, oh, the Aphrodite tag team gonna face each other. Utami Hayashishita versus Saya Kamatani. And then staying in the blue block. Oh, Donna Del Mundo showdown. We got Shuri versus Micah. And then they'll finish off in the red block with Julia versus Mayu Iwatani. Wow. So we got ourselves a strong start to the 5-star Grand Prix with these two days to kick off this tournament. And it looks like this is also the same as well. Four red block, 4 blue block matches. Or actually, hold up. Actually, I might be wrong on that. Let's see. Hold on, let me double check. Let's see, that's blue, red. Let's see, blue, 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 blue. Okay, that's 4. Red, 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 red. No, it's 4. No. It looks like it's 3 red and 4 blue. Yeah, 3 red and 4 blue. That's weird. So okay, so I'm sorry. I messed up on that. So the first night it looks like it's gonna be 4 red and 3 blue matches. And then day 2 is 4 blue, 3 red. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Alrighty. But yeah, that's day 1 and day 2 of the 5-star Grand Prix. And like I said, this tournament is supposed to last, I want to say September 27th is the finals of this tournament. So it's going to be a while. It's definitely going to be a while before we get to the end of this tournament. But as far as who I want to win this tournament, I mean, personally, looking at the competitors, let's see. Utami Hayashishita won last year. Personally, I would like to either see Shuri, Micah, Konami, Momo, or Starlight Kid win. But overall, as long as it's not Utami or Julia or Mayu, I'm pretty cool with whoever else, to be honest with you. You know, I don't think Saya Kamatani will win because she just won the Cinderella tournament, so I don't think she's going to win this. I don't think Mina Shirakawa will win because she just recently won the Future of Stardom Championship tournament. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm going to keep an open mind about it, but who knows? I think we're in for a great tournament, and we probably will be surprised at the outcome. But anyway, that's it for Stardom for now. Like I said, this weekend, 5-star Grand Prix. Should be exciting. Looking forward to it. Alrighty. So looking at some New Japan Pro Wrestling. Of course, we just recently had the finals of Tag Team Turbulence that took place earlier this evening. It was Violence Unlimited of Chris Dickinson and Brody King taking on the Good Brothers, Machine Gun Carl Anderson, Big LG, Don Gallows. Um, this was a good match. Both teams pretty even in size and stature, and it was definitely hard hitting, back and forth. But the Good Brothers show why they are the premier tag team of New Japan Pro Wrestling, as they've been before many times, years and years ago. And they were able to get the victory. They hit Chris Dickinson with a Magic Killer and got the victory. Got the 1, 2, 3. And Good Brothers win Tag Team Turbulence. And not only that, they got their trophies and they got on the mic and Carl Anderson got on the mic and pretty much spoke that they want to return and they want to recapture those IWGP Tag Team Championships, which are currently held by the Dangerous Tekkers of Zack Sabre Jr. and Taichi. So we know that that's their goal, and it's looking like we're going to be seeing the Good Brothers eventually back in Japan in a New Japan ring. So something to keep in mind. And not only that, they've been very busy. Remember, right now, they're still the current Impact Wrestling Tag Team Champions. You know, they've been on there. They've been on AEW. You know, they were just here for the Tag Team Turbulence in LA. They've been busy. They've been busy. But it looks like they're going to have an opportunity to go to Japan. Maybe soon. But I'm sure they're going to want to get their tag title shot ASAP after winning this tournament. So, congratulations to the Good Brothers. And of course, also keep in mind that this weekend, looking at the Summer Struggle tour, as a matter of fact, Sunday, Tomohiro Ishii, Yoshihashi, and Hiroki Goto are going to be defending the Never Openweight 6-man tag titles against Suzuki Gun's Minoru Suzuki, Zack Sabre Jr., and Taichi. So the Dangerous Tekkers have an opportunity to get more gold. So this should be interesting. It'll be very interesting. Well, yeah. And of course, let's also keep in mind August 14th, New Japan Pro Wrestling Resurgence is happening. And of course, it's where Jay White will defend the Never Openweight Championship against Dave Finlay. So, got a good bit to look forward to in New Japan Pro Wrestling. You know, they're gonna finish out this summer struggle. And then it's pretty much going to be smooth sailing up to the start of the G1 Climax in September. So, a lot to look forward to in New Japan. But this is good. This is real good. So that's it for New Japan Pro Wrestling. All right, let's talk about some AEW. Yes. Me and my dad and a couple of friends actually went to AEW Dynamite Fight for the Fallen, which took place in Charlotte, North Carolina at the Bojangles Coliseum. This is actually my second AEW show that I've been to. Of course, the year that Dynamite debuted, later that fall, AEW came to Charlotte, North Carolina, and I was at that show. So that was a lot of fun. They did AEW Dynamite, and they also recorded AEW Dark as well. So this past Wednesday, not only did they record live AEW Dynamite Fight for the Fallen, they also, at the beginning, recorded AEW Dark Elevation, and then after Fight for the Fallen, they recorded AEW Dark, which actually was the 100th episode of AEW Dark since its debut. So, I mean, it was at least a good 4 hours of wrestling, and it was just amazing. I mean, with Dark Elevation and Dark, got to see Red Velvet, got to see legit Layla Hirsch, got to see Yuka Sakazaki. That was really cool. Let's see, got to see JD Drake, got to see Chris Statlander, got to see Death Triangle wrestle. So Big Swole made an appearance. I mean, there was a lot. Eddie Kingston and Dante Martin. That was a really good match. So a lot of good matches on Dark Elevation and Dark, which you'll be able to see on YouTube this coming Monday. So this coming Monday would be Dark Elevation, and then this coming Tuesday will be Dark. And both of those should be the recordings from Charlotte, North Carolina. So look forward to checking those out. Anyway, on to the actual Fight for the Fallen. So at first, I wanted to let you know that before the show, outside the arena, before they let people in, they actually recorded a promo outside of the Bojangles Coliseum that involved Matt Hardy, Private Party, and they also had the Acclaimed out there as well, recording a promo. I was literally almost arm lengths away from where they were, so I was able to take some pictures. I was able to, get pretty close to the action, So that was actually a really cool experience. But on to the show. They started off with the 10-man elimination tag team match. So it was Hangman Adam Page and the Dark Order versus the Elite. And let me tell you, they both had special entrances and they were phenomenal. Hangman Page and the Dark Order had that sort of Wild Wild West sort of entrance, dark entrance. And then, of course, the Elite had the Space Jam Toon Squad-like entrance from the movie. So they had like a basketball goal and such. It was really cool. It was really, really cool. But they kicked off the show, Fight for the Fallen, with this match. And I tell you, it was action-packed from both teams, and it was just great. It was really, really great. So, just to go through the specifics, the first team was Hangman Adam Page and the Dark Order, which was made up of Evil Uno, Stu Grayson, John Silver, and Alex Reynolds. And then you had the Elite, which was made up of Kenny Omega, the tag team champs, the Young Bucks, and the Impact tag champs, the Good Brothers. So those are the specifics on who were involved. Excuse me. Of course, Don Callis was on commentary, but this was a really great match. We got to see basketballs in use. We got to see the goal, the basketball goal in use. And it was just crazy. It was really crazy. Back and forth action. This was definitely a great way to start the show off. And of course, Brandon Cutler was there. Michael Nakazawa was there as well. So, of course, the Elite had the numbers. But thankfully, after each elimination, each wrestler eliminated was sent to the back. So at least there was that. But ultimately, in the end, the Elite beat Hangman Adam Page and the Dark Order, as Hangman Adam Page was actually the last one eliminated. So, of course, Kenny Omega hit Hangman Adam Page with the belt. Or actually, no, he tried to hit him with the belt, missed. Hangman hit Deadeye. Kenny Omega kicked out, but then just really, it was too much for him. Ate some V triggers, ate a one winged angel. Nobody kicks out of the one winged angel. Now, here's the crazy thing. So, because Adam Page and the Dark Order lost, they don't get their title shots. They don't get a tag title shot, and Hangman doesn't get an AEW World Championship title shot. So, I know a lot of people were definitely surprised with this outcome, but I don't know if this was like a last minute change or just, I don't know. I felt like a lot of us were really sure that Hangman and the Dark Order were going to win this. Didn't happen. So, I don't know. I'm under the impression that maybe they're just going to build up a little bit more of this rivalry, and who knows? I don't know if the whole buzz about Daniel Bryan and CM Punk are interfering with these plans, but I'm guessing at some point, what I'm thinking is at some point, Hangman Adam Page is going to get his shot on a pay-per-view, whether it's the end of this year or maybe even going into next year, and he'll finally beat Kenny Omega. Or at least that's what I'm thinking. Unless they do have a plan of somebody else dethroning him. But I don't know. I just feel like this is probably going to be saved for like a big name pay-per-view like All Out or Double or Nothing next year or Revolution next year. Something like that. So we'll see. We'll see. And we had a backstage segment with Andrade El Idolo, Chavo Guerrero, and Pac. And of course, still trying to steal away the Lucha Bros from Pac, from Death Triangle. So, of course, that's going to continue. We had the Ricky Starks celebration. They had Taz up on a little conveyor belt. I don't know what the heck that is. Little thing that you get on and it boosts you up. I don't know what that's called. But Taz was on one of those. Did his introduction for Ricky Starks. He came down. Hook was with him. And, of course, you know, he did a promo, pretty much talked about Brian Cage in a negative way. Brian Cage then came down, was looking to clear house. Brian Cage busted an instrument. I think it was a trombone and a drum set on Ricky Starks. And yeah, pretty much spoiled the party. So it was a nice little nifty segment. We then had a video play on the screen, and it was Hiroshi Tanahashi of New Japan Pro Wrestling that is inserting himself into the IWGP United States Championship picture by challenging the winner between Lance Archer and Hikuleo. So that's big. It looks like we may be seeing Hiroshi Tanahashi coming to AEW to challenge the winner for that IWGP United States title, a title that he's never had before. So that's big. That's a big deal. The ace, Hiroshi Tanahashi. It's a big deal. Very big deal. Next up, we had FTR versus Santana and Ortiz, and of course they had Conan with them. Uh, this match was pretty good, but had an unfortunate ending that kind of cut the match a little shorter than probably a lot of us expected. Um, from the angle that I saw, it looked like Cash Wheeler was whipped into the turnbuckle at an angle where I guess he cut his arm on, like, I don't know if it was like the side of the turnbuckle or something, but he cut his arm. Apparently he had a really bad cut, and I remember they had him on the outside of the ring. The doctors were checking on him, and of course Dax Harwood actually ended up finishing the match, hitting a brainbuster on Ortiz, and was able to get the victory. I'm pretty sure that's not how they originally wanted to get the finish for this match, but it looked like FTR was booked to win, just not exactly like this. So after the match was over, I saw Dax Harwood come over to Cash Wheeler to check on him, and he was moved to the back. But it looked like, I don't know if it was on his inner forearm or something like that. He had his hand covered up, but it looked like he had a big, bad cut. Now, I don't know if y'all on that watched on TV saw where it happened or if the camera cut to it, but yeah, Cash Wheeler had a really bad cut, which it looks like it got, I guess, from being whipped into the turnbuckle. I don't know. The way he was holding it, it looked like it was really bad. So, speedy recovery to Cash Wheeler. Hope he's all right. I hope it's not too bad of a cut or a contusion, whatever it might have been. But from the way he was holding it, it looked bad. Anyway, but overall, it was still a pretty decent match. It just did not last as long as we hoped for. So, Tony Schiavone made the announcement that the new planned live event that Tony Khan is hosting is called The First Dance. It will be on August 20th. It's a Rampage show. It's an AEW Rampage show. And it will be in Chicago at the United Center. Not only that, but in a backstage segment with Sting and Darby Allin mentioned that the only place for men to prove themselves is in AEW, especially for those that call themselves the best in the world. Now, you know dang on well that's a big tease of CM Punk. Best in the world? And the fact that this first dance is going to be in Chicago, Illinois, where CM Punk is from? All the signs are pointing to CM Punk being there and potentially being all elite. If that's not a dead giveaway, I don't know what is. Maybe I'm dumb, but I don't know. Y'all decide for yourselves. Had the IWGP United States Championship match. We had the champion, the Murder Hawk Monster, Lance Archer, defending against Bullet Club's Hikuleo, who was accompanied by King Haku. So that was a big surprise. I didn't even think he was going to be there. So that was a very nice surprise. This was a good match, back and forth. Even King Haku got involved, put on that Tonga Death Grip. I mean, that's a whew. I remember back in the WCW days where he was with the Faces of Fear, and he would lock on that Tonga Death Grip. It was it. That was it. You weren't breaking that. Mm-mm. You could try, but you weren't breaking that. Oof. It was crazy. Anyway, Lance Archer was able to get the victory for to retain his title. Hit the blackout on Hikuleo. And now we know that Lance Archer will be defending his IWGP United States Championship up next against Hiroshi Tanahashi, the ace of New Japan Pro Wrestling. This should be good. This should be really good. We even had a segment with Cody and Malachi Black. Of course, they brawled a little bit, but Malachi Black was able to get the last laugh and put away Cody. And Malachi Black stands tall once again. And it's just more and more build-up to when they finally have their match, their showdown. And the crazy thing about it, at that show, they were cheering for Malachi Black and they were booing Cody Rhodes. I was like, dang, they were going in. They were booing Cody. I was like, geez. It was crazy. And then we got word from Miro that he's going to be fighting Lee Johnson next week. So I'm guessing he's putting the TNT Championship on the line. So that should be cool. We had Angelico and Private Party going up against Jurassic Express of Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, and Christian Cage. This was actually a pretty fun match. This was back and forth. Really got a chance to see everybody in action. And, of course, Matt Hardy was with Private Party and Angelico. Marco Stunt with Luchasaurus and Christian Cage and Jungle Boy. Of course, Matt Hardy got a good reception. Of course, he's home, North Carolina. But this was actually a really great match. Back and forth. Very entertaining. At the end, Jurassic Express and Christian Cage got the victory. Luchasaurus hit a big choke slam on Mark Quinn. And Christian finished it off with a beautiful frog splash. And then out of nowhere, the Blade appears and decks Christian Cage with the brass knucks. I mean, just decks him real good. Out like a light bulb. The Blade, you never see it coming. Anyway. We had Julia Hart of the Varsity Blondes going up against Thunder Rosa. Honestly, this match did not feel that long. It really didn't feel that long. Julia tried, but I mean, let's keep it real. We all know she wasn't gonna beat Thunder Rosa. Let's just keep it real. But I mean, she broke out of that ankle lock submission. But yeah, like I said, this match didn't last that long. And Thunder Rosa put Julia Hart away with the Fire Thunder Driver. But, yeah. That's really all I have to say. Like I said, it wasn't really a long match. But it was just good to see these two ladies go at it. And, I'm big on Thunder Rosa. So, yeah, it was good to see Thunder Rosa. Okay. Main event was the 5 Labors of Jericho Chapter 2, which was a no rules, no disqualification match. It was Chris Jericho, Le Champion, the Painmaker, going up against Nick effing Gage. It's MDK all day, Nick Gage. Of course, MJF came out on commentary, and man, oh man, this was a brutal match. Bloody, brutal, all of the above. I mean, we got to see pizza cutter, fluorescent light bulbs, chair shots, baseball bat. Just, it was crazy. I mean, Nick Gage even took a piece of the broken light bulb and jammed it in Jericho's face and eyes and all that. Not to mention, they had kind of bad timing with the commercial where they had Domino's Pizza commercial and they had Nick Gage pizza cutter in hand after grinding it onto the forehead of Chris Jericho. So apparently they're getting a lot of heat for that. Which, I mean, I still think it was coincidental. I think it was coincidental. But that's just me. I could be wrong. But, I mean, just... There was even a spot where Chris Jericho did a top rope Frankensteiner with Nick Gage through a sheet of, like, plexiglass. Or I don't know what kind of glass that was, but it was like thick glass. But shattered. Whole thing shattered. It was crazy. And just both were bloodied. And Chris Jericho, he was definitely bloodied the most. But man, they were tearing each other apart. And it even got to the point where the finish was Chris Jericho busting out green mist. Now, that I did not see coming. Spewed green mist in Nick Gage's face. Hit the Judas effect. Gets the pin. 1, 2, 3. And Chris Jericho survives and completes Chapter 2 of the Laborers of Jericho. I did not expect him to bust out the green mist. That was cool. That was really cool. And then, after the match, MJF got on the mic and announced Chapter 3 for Chris Jericho for his next labor. So, in this next match that Chris Jericho has, the main stipulation is that he has to win using a move from the top rope. So, move from the top turnbuckle, a high-flying move. He has to use that as the finisher to win this match. And his opponent, apparently returning to action after 15 years, that was said, the Juice. One of the best luchadors in the world. One that I've seen a lot during the times of WCW. And even during WWE when he was part of the Mexicools. That's right, the Juice, Juventud Guerrera, is Jericho's next opponent. Definitely a surprise. Definitely quite a surprise. And Juventud Guerrera, oh man. I wonder how old he is now. Like, I'm actually kind of curious. How old is he now? Because, dang, he's 46 years old. Holy crap. But yeah. Apparently, he's going to be facing Chris Jericho. But that's crazy. I don't think it's really been 15 years. Well, maybe it has, but I don't think it's been 15 years. I think that was something that MJF kind of overhyped. But I know, me personally, I haven't seen Juventud Guerrera in forever. I don't know if he's been doing stuff in Mexico or what, but it's good to see. It's good to see him. It'll be good to see him. Like I said, I watched him a lot back in WCW. Watched him when he was with the Mexicools, Super Crazy, Psychosis, and WWE. Dude was a beast. Beast of a high flyer. He was one of the first ones that I ever saw do a 450 splash. I love when he did the air hoovy. Dude was a beast. So I definitely looking forward to seeing Juventud Guerrera back in action. And like I said, Chris Jericho, somebody he's wrestled many times before, somebody that he knows very well. Especially back when these two were much younger. Juventud Guerrero's 46, Jericho he's 50, so they're not that far apart from each other. So, but yeah, next Dynamite is Homecoming from Jacksonville. They're going back to Daly's place, but then they're getting geared up for that launch of the first episode of AEW Rampage, August 13th. And then the first dance, August 20th in Chicago. So, a lot to look forward to. AEW, they've been killing it right now. Alright. Let's, I guess, look at some WWE. Okay. Yeah. I mean, had Damian Priest defeat Sheamus, which, I mean, it was good to see Damian Priest back in the ring, but Sheamus lost. Ada, so on here they call it, they say they hit him with the Reckoning, so I guess they're going back to calling Damian Priest's finisher the Reckoning instead of Hit the Lights, which, the Reckoning is a lot better. But then again, Mia Yim used to be Reckoning with what's the group's name? See, I done already forgot. It's been so long. Retribution, but Retribution's pretty much dead. But Damian Priest beat Sheamus. We had AJ Styles and Omos defend the Raw Tag Team titles against the Viking Raiders, and Viking Raiders gave it a good effort, but AJ hits a springboard 450 to seal the deal, and they still retain the tag titles. Like I said, they're probably going to be tag champs for a long while. With Omos in the picture, they're going to be tag champs for a long while. I just see it. I just see it being that way. We had Drew McIntyre versus Veer, but that ended in disqualification. As of course, Jinder Mahal and Shanky got involved, pretty much, which triggered the disqualification. And then Jinder Mahal's, I guess, lawyer or whatnot took a whole lot of punishment. It was really kind of a dumb segment, one that I wasn't really that interested in. But it is what it is. It's like Drew and Jinder are going to be feuding for a long while. Yeah, the women's tag team champions, Natalya and Tamina, go up against Eva Marie and I'm not going to say her name, Piper Niven. And of course, Piper Niven had to carry the load. But when it came down to Eva Marie trying to do something, she ate a super kick. Natalya and Tamina get the victory. But unfortunately, in the midst of this victory, Natalya suffered a leg injury. I believe it was a foot injury. And apparently had to get surgery. I guess it was. I'm trying to figure out what exactly it was. I don't know if she tweaked her ankle or she had some sort of surgery, and she had on a foot brace. So I don't really know how long her recovery will be, but I'm hoping she comes back ASAP. But it sounds like they may have to relinquish the WWE Women's Tag Team titles. So that's a possibility, and it's looking like that might end up happening. But we'll see. We'll see. It just injuries suck. You never want to see those happen to anybody. Face, heel, whether it's somebody you like or not. You never want to see those happen to anybody. So wishing a speedy recovery for Natalia. The boat. And then the really, really dumb thing happened. So we had Keith Lee versus the NXT champion Karrion Kross. I don't even know why this was even a match. This was so dumb. This was so dumb. They just had Karrion Kross lose to Jeff Hardy, which apparently they had it in the plans for them to have a rematch for Karrion Kross to lose again, but unfortunately, word is that Jeff Hardy got COVID, so they had to do a change of plans, and they changed their plans to this, and it wasn't a long match, but Karrion Kross made Keith Lee tap out to the cross jacket. So two back-to-back losses for Keith Lee. Now I understand the whole fact that, well, with these two in a match, I mean, they had to give Karrion Kross, the champion, the victory. I get it. But really? Y'all gonna keep doing this to Keith Lee? I I don't get it. I don't get it. It really sounds like he's being punished. I think he's being punished. I think he's being punished. It's ridiculous. But Mason T-Bar went up against Mustafa Ali and Mansoor. Ali and Mansoor got the victory. Hey, now they got Mason T-Bar jobbing, I guess. Just, I don't know. Can't we just get Dominic Dijakovic back? Let him be that. Can we just get Dio Madden back? No? Whatever. We had Bobby Lashley defeat Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin in a 2-on-1 handicap match, which, it's already bad enough that they broke up the Hurt Business. And then you want to turn around and make these two look even worse by having them get destroyed by Bobby Lashley in a 2-on-1 handicap match. Like, dang. Of course, adding insult to injury by actually hitting not only a spear, but a jackhammer, which are Goldberg's finishers. Ugh. That's ridiculous, but whatever. Riddle versus Johnny Drip Drip. And course, the tag champs, the Raw tag champs, interfered, and John Morrison was able to hit a Starship Pain. Something I hadn't seen in a while. And another thing I haven't seen in a while is a Styles Clash, which AJ Styles hit Matt Riddle with after the match. So, a Starship Pain and a Styles Clash I haven't seen in forever. Then we had a 24/7 championship match, Reginald and R-Truth. Reggie did his flipping here and flipping there and was able to hit a flipping senton and was able to get the pin and ran away, flipped away, whichever you want to call it. And then the main event was Nikki ASH, the Raw Women's Champion, going up against Charlotte Flair. And Charlotte Flair ends up getting the victory over Nikki ASH. So this new Raw Women's Champion just got beat in her first singles match. As Raw Women's Champion, she gets beat by Charlotte. I don't know what they're going to end up doing. Is this just going to be one of these things where Nikki's a champion and then now she's going to be in a position where she gets close to getting wins and then doesn't get the win? Or is it going to be one of those where she'll lose the match unless the title's on the line, then she'll win? Poor Nikki. Poor Nikki. Moving on. NXT. So we had Pete Dunne and Oney Lorcan going up against Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher. And we had quite a surprise in this match. Of course, this match was good, back and forth between both teams. And then out of nowhere, a returning Ridge Holland. That's right. Ridge Holland, somebody we haven't seen in about a year, maybe 9 or 10 months, something like that. He had a broken leg, if I remember correctly. Ridge Holland returned and helped Oney Lorcan and Pete Dunne get the victory, and he's siding with them. And of course, he hit a couple of headbutts and helped beat down Thatcher and Ciampa. But yeah, Ridge Holland is back. And he's now siding with Oney Lorcan and Pete Dunne. So this ought to be interesting. This ought to be very interesting. It's crazy. We had pretty much one of the main big segments of the show where Samoa Joe came to the ring, contract in hand, invited Mr. William Regal down, and made a deal with him. So this was a 3-part deal. First part, Samoa Joe had a letter of a resignation from his position as enforcer. Second part was a statement reinstating Samoa Joe to the active roster of NXT. And third, a contract for a title match between Samoa Joe and Karrion Kross at NXT TakeOver 36. And all three, William Regal, have acknowledged, have confirmed, and have signed. It's a done deal. Samoa Joe, the Samoan submission machine, the 2-time NXT champion, will be returning to the ring at NXT TakeOver 36. and will have an opportunity to become a 3-time NXT champion if he can defeat Karrion Kross. I'm looking forward to this. I had a feeling it was a matter of time with the build up, with the attacks from Karrion Kross, with the attack on William Regal. This was a matter of time for Samoa Joe would get back in the ring. So I'm looking forward to this. It looks like Samoa Joe is cleared for competition, and I can't wait to see this match between him and Karrion Kross. Should be epic. The NXT Breakout Tournament continues as Carmelo Hayes went up against Josh Briggs. I definitely like both of these competitors. Like I said, I've seen Josh Briggs via Evolve. I've met Josh Briggs. Dude is really cool. Great wrestler. And Carmelo Hayes, he's been doing his thing here in NXT. Had a great match with Kushida. Had a great match with Adam Cole. Carmelo Hayes definitely has a bright future. And even so does Josh Briggs. I didn't like the fact that he cut his hair. He used to have long hair. I wish he would have kept that. But Josh Briggs, another giant in this match. Of course, Duke Hudson and Odyssey Jones, I believe, the two other big men that have advanced. But Carmelo Hayes was able to slay this big man and get the victory, and he will actually advance to face Duke Hudson. So we know the winner between Joe Gacy and I forgot the other dude's name, something Avery. The winner of that match will face Odyssey Jones. So should be good. But Carmelo Hayes looked good in this match, and he advanced in this breakout tournament. So, should be good. I'm assuming that the winner of this tournament will have the opportunity for a future title shot. Whether it's I'm pretty sure NXT title or North American title. But I'm pretty sure they're going to get a future title shot. Because, the same thing happened to Jordan Miles, aka ACH. All right. We had a segment where Raquel Gonzalez, along with Dakota Kai, came out, grabbed a mic, and pretty much talked about how dominant she's been. Dakota Kai praised her, talked about how, she's been a phenomenal champion as long as I've had her back. And then as they were celebrating, and Raquel Gonzalez was on the turnbuckle, it happened. What we have all been waiting for. Dakota Kai turns on her friend Raquel Gonzalez, gives her a running Yakuza kick, knocks her out, and takes the title and raises it up. And pretty much lets Raquel know that, hey, I'm next in line. I'm coming for your title. So yeah, I knew this was eventually going to come. There have been, small little clues and signs of it. But I knew this was eventually going to come. And this is Dakota Kai's opportunity. Title she's never won before. She's had a few opportunities, but she's never won this title. So we'll have to see what happens. This should be a really good feud. We had a women's tag team match. Casey Catanzaro and Kaden Carter went up against Taya Valkyrie and Jessie Kamea. And while it looked like this would be in the bag for Taya Valkyrie and Jessie Kamea, Dumbo Robert Stone had to try to interfere by throwing a shoe. I believe it was a shoe. Yeah. And it backfired to the point where Casey Catanzaro and Kaden Carter were able to take advantage and hit the Skull and Bones alternate version of what the Motor City Machine Guns used to use with the neck breaker 450 splash combo. Really, really beautiful. To pick up the win. And just like that, Taya Valkyrie suffers her first loss. Not a singles loss, of course, but it looks like she's probably going to be kicking Robert Stone to the curb sooner or later. It's bound to happen. We had Imperium versus Hit Row, and which I thought Hit Row was going to pretty much get this, but Legado del Fantasma interferes, turned the tide for Imperium. Imperium hit the European Bomb to pick up the victory, and this only heightens the rivalry between Legado del Fantasma and Hit Row even more. And I guess it's, like I said, I guess it's safe to say that Hit Row are now faces? I could be wrong, but I don't know. I have the feeling that in this rivalry, Hit Row are the faces. Not to mention, they went up against Imperium, which is another heel team. So they must be face. Now that I think of it, they must be face now. They just went up against a heel, and they're feuding with a heel stable in Legado del Fantasma. So it makes sense. Anyway, the main event. We had Bronson Reed taking on Adam Cole. And this was actually a pretty dang on good match. I thought it was over for Bronson Reed once he got hit with a Panama Sunrise, but nah, he kicked out. He kicked out. Unfortunately, had momentum, hit a nice power bomb, went to go hit the tsunami, but he missed. Adam Cole took advantage, few super kicks, and a last shot. 1, 2, 3. Adam Cole defeats Bronson Reed. And as he's leaving to celebrate, bam! Big old chair shot from Kyle O'Reilly. Beat the mess out of Adam Cole. And then he ended up hitting Adam Cole with a brainbuster onto the steel steps. And the violent artist has awakened and unleashed pure violence on Adam Cole. And that is how NXT ended. So, I can dig it. Besides, I love Kyle O'Reilly. I love the violent artist. NXT UK. Had a good match between Jordan Devlin and Tristan Archer. This was actually back and forth to the point where Tristan Archer was actually doing some damage to Jordan Devlin. Of course, still wasn't enough to get the victory as Jordan Devlin hit the Devlin side. And then we had a segment where A-Kid came down to the ring after Jordan Devlin started talking smack. Came down, he was on crutches. Jordan Devlin kicked those crutches away, but A-Kid was able to stand on his own and went in and was able to get a few licks on Jordan Devlin and send him packing. But yeah, because remember, next week, we got an Iron Man match between Jordan Devlin and A-Kid. So this should be really good. This should be really good. And then we had Jenna with Joseph Connors going up against Aoife Valkyrie. I gotta be honest. I had mixed feelings about how this went down. On one hand, I get it because, it took a distraction from Joseph Connors, Jenny taking advantage with the ripcord rolling wheel kick to get the pin on Aoife Valkyrie. So, it still keeps Aoife Valkyrie strong. But at the same time, it's like, dang, This is now her second loss. And it's like, Aoife Valkyrie doesn't seem like the Aoife Valkyrie that we've known that had this impressive win streak. Never got a shot at the NXT UK Women's Championship, and now is in this feud with Jenny. It's like, dang, when's she gonna get her title shot? Still hasn't gotten her title shot. It's ridiculous, but Fashionista gets the victory over Aoife Valkyrie. We had Stevie Turner versus Aaliyah James. This was a pretty decent match. Of course, Stevie Turner was able to get the pretty much like flatliner like finisher from the middle rope. But it was a pretty impressive finisher. But Stevie Turner got the victory. It was a decently back and forth match. You know, Aaliyah James definitely shows a little something something. And then in the main event, we had Mustache Mountain versus Symbiosis. And once again, Mustache Mountain shows why they are the better of the two teams. Although T-Bone and Primate gave it a great effort, even with Eddie Dennis. But Mustache Mountain, too good. Too good. And they were able to hit a diving knee drop burning hammer combo to seal the deal. And Mustache Mountain truly shows why they're the best. And even the current NXT Tag Champions, Pretty Deadly, came out to kind of congratulate them. And it looks like they may be interested in maybe defending the tag titles against Mustache Mountain. Remember, those NXT UK tag titles are titles that Mustache Mountain have never won. They've been NXT Tag Team Champions, but they've never been NXT UK Tag Team Champions. Keep that in mind, y'all. So, you know, this could be something they go for, but at the same time, we have to also remember that Tyler Bate is the current Heritage Cup champion. So, I mean, that's something you want to keep in mind. So, want to continue to keep him strong with that. So, who knows? Maybe they will get the tag team title shot, and who knows? They might win them. I doubt it, but we'll see. We'll see. Okay. SmackDown. I'm going to finish it off with some SmackDown. Once again, John Cena opens the show. Talk smack about Roman Reigns. And Baron Corbin comes by, pretty much asking John Cena for help. John Cena gives him a little bit of cash. It looked like it was like $220s or something like that. Baron Corbin's like, that's it. That's all. You're so selfish. And John Cena gives him an attitude adjustment. And yeah. Or Baron Corbin. Actually, I don't feel bad at all. Rey Mysterio got some revenge against the Usos by defeating Jimmy Uso using one of their tricks with his son, Dominic Mysterio, using his legs for support. Mysterio had Jimmy Uso in a crucifix pin. Dominic put his legs, put his feet on Mysterio's back as leverage. 1, 2, 3, just like the Usos did to the Mysterios twice, back to back. They got a taste of their own medicine. So, that was good. That was really good. We had a segment with Bianca Belair celebrating 100 days. Technically 110 days, I think they said. 110, 113, one of the two. as SmackDown Women's Champion. So she got on the mic for a bit, and Carmella came out. She was like, she wants a shot because she had the title 130 something days. Then Selena Vega comes out and she's like, no, I want a title shot. I deserve a title shot. Then they both started beating down Bianca Belair, and surprise, the boss is back as Sasha Banks returns to even the odds and help fight off Zelina and Carmella, and siding with Bianca Belair. Gives her a big hug. They embrace. They dance a little bit. It's all peachy. It was then announced that the main event will be a tag team match. Bianca and Sasha versus Selena and Carmella. See, we had Reginald defend the 24/7 championship against Chad Gable, but of course that went out the window because Otis interfered. But even in winning by disqualification and keeping his title, he was able to avoid a beatdown by Chad Gable and Otis, and was able to slip and flip and duck and dodge, dip and dodge away. Big smile on his face, still holding proudly the 24/7 championship. So, yeah. It looks like he's mainly going to be having his matches doing flips and kicks and sentons and cartwheels and all that sort of Cirque du Soleil stuff. We had what was supposed to be the contract signing between Roman Reigns and Finn Balor. You know, both got on the mic a little bit, and it seemed like it was going that way. Roman Reigns signed his part of the contract. And then as Finn Balor was getting ready to sign, out comes Baron Corbin, attacks Finn Balor, throws him to the outside. Baron Corbin gets ready to pick up the contract and sign his name on it, which, I mean, I guess I understand why he's doing that, because he wants to have the match at SummerSlam, and regardless of whether he wins or loses, he gets paid. Here comes John Cena, though, attacks and fends off Baron Corbin, and then Cena picks up the contract, and he signs his name on the contract. And it's been confirmed that we are going to get John Cena versus Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. Yeah. And then apparently next week we're going to get Finn Balor versus Baron Corbin. Anyway. Had a 6-man tag. Apollo Crews and the Dirty Dogs, Dolph Ziggler, Robert Roode, went up against Big E, Mr. Money in the Bank, Cesaro, and King Nakamura. And of course, Rick Boogs was the deciding factor, or one of the deciding factors. Was able to distract Apollo Crews, and King Nakamura eventually hit him with a Kinshasa, covered him, 1, 2, 3. Shinsuke covers the Intercontinental Champion, gets the victory for his team. Yay! There was even a moment where Commander Aziz was looking to take out Rick Boogs, but Cesaro laid into him with a beautiful, beautiful running European uppercut. I was like, dang, he caught him good. He caught him really good. Almost made him flip over the guardrail. We had Seth Rollins beat down Edge as Edge was making his way to the ring. Seth Rollins got on the mic and was pretty much like, if I can't be Universal Champion, neither will Edge. So as long as I don't get that opportunity, Edge is not going to get that opportunity. So, yeah. Yep. The feud continues, which I'm not surprised. And then the main event was Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks teaming up, take on Zelina Vega and Carmella. And, these two ladies were on the same page. They had their backs. They had each other's backs. And they were able to work out together and get the victory. Sasha locked in the bank statement on Carmella, made her tap. Sasha, in her return, her and Bianca, victorious in this tag team. They hug, embrace, they celebrate, they do a little dancing. And then Sasha hits a backstabber on Bianca Belair, holds her title up. You think I forgot? You think I forgot? And then proceeds to lock her, beat her down a bit, and then lock her in the bank statement twice, I believe. And on that second time, she kept it locked in until the credits and the show ended. She had that bank statement locked in on the EST. And that chump of a referee couldn't even break the hole, didn't really make much of an effort to break the hole. But there, the boss, Sasha Banks, locked on that bank statement, talking smack. Bianca couldn't do anything but tap out. But I know a lot of people were expecting this, but hey, it makes sense. Sasha wants her championship, the one she lost at WrestleMania, and it looks like we may be getting Bianca versus Sasha at SummerSlam. Go figure. Go figure. But it makes sense. Decent way of ending SmackDown. But hey, Sasha Banks is back. So this is going to get really, really good now. Or at least that's what I'm hoping. But it's good to see her back into a feud with Bianca. So we'll see how that goes. And yeah, that is pretty much it. Oh man, covered a lot tonight. Like I said, I had a ton of fun at the AEW Dynamite Fight for the Fallen in Charlotte, North Carolina. Let me just say this. If y'all never been to an AEW show, I highly, 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 highly recommend going to one in your area or wherever. You will not be disappointed. Take it from me, you will not be disappointed. But anyway, let me know what y'all's thoughts are on what we discussed tonight. Got Stardom's 5-Star Grand Prix getting ready to start. Who's your favorite to win? We got Tag Team Turbulence just finished. Good Brothers on top. They're looking to go after the IWGP tag titles. What y'all think of AEW Fight for the Fallen? What'd you think of this week's WWE episodes? The return of Sasha Banks. Had quite a bit happen. The Dakota Kai stabbing Raquel Gonzalez in the back. The return of Ridge Holland. Let me know what y'all think. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, all of the above. Hit the notification bell so you'll catch every video that I put up. Thank y'all so much for watching and hanging out with me tonight. This was a lot of fun. I always enjoy doing this. Thank you so much. This is Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram of Blitzball Champ Gaming with another edition of Pro Wrestling Talk. Signing off of here on the U to the Tube. Hope everybody has a blessed weekend, and I will see y'all soon. Stay safe. Good night, everybody.